everyone. I'm Meteorologist Carly Smith. Sounds like the volume is working here on my phone. So I could keep up with your questions or anything like that. I hope everyone has a spooky, fabulous Halloween and your kids get all the candy of their dreams. And it is going to be a cold time though, and that's what I want to make sure you are ready for. And I want to talk about just how cold it's actually going to be for the creepy holiday. So spine chilling, that's the new adjective I haven't used so far. I've been using bone chilling, but why not spine chilling? So yeah, that's how it feels when I shiver. Okay, so here's a look at your graphics here. John Thomas, come join.
Yeah. This is live, right?
Yeah, this is live.
I'm not mic'd up, but how y'all doing? Right there. Okay, what are you working on?
That's the scary ghost for Halloween. I'm just kidding.
I do lurk.
We are just chatting about the Halloween forecast on Facebook Live. So trick-or-treating, if you're headed out, bundle up. It is going to be cold, much colder than we're used to for this time of year. But I will note that I believe that's the next graphic. Okay, not quite the next. So the record low was 41 yesterday. Anyway, we do tend to fall below 50 degrees for the first time on Halloween. So it is normal for our low to be below 50 degrees. It's not quite as normal for our high temperature to be below 60 degrees. That is the big weather news, is just how cold our high temperature is. So let's go back to the trick-or-treating forecast. So as you're reaching for the candy, yeah, 50s. 53 at 6 p.m. I think temperatures are going to fall fairly quickly, but we are still breezy. That might be our saving grace, actually. It's going to create a wind chill, but when we've got the wind and the friction, it allows our lows not to be quite so cold. But areas inland into the brush country, you'll likely fall into the 40s during trick-or-treating. So next on our graphics, maybe with the clicker. There we go. Almanac, 57 was the high yesterday, and that was midnight. So midnight, our high was 57. I believe in the afternoon, it only got up to 52 degrees. Our low was 45, which was 4 degrees shy of the record. We've got a chance to break some records today. Of course, I mentioned the average earliest first time, I guess is what I should say. The average first time we fall below 50 for a low is October 31st, and that's a 30-year average. When you go back a little bit further in the data, it is actually, I believe, a little bit earlier. But on average, it's Halloween over the last 30 years. Latest, December 11th, 1998. Earliest, October 8th there, 2000. So essentially, we did it this year. We fell below 50 yesterday for the first time since March 19th. Can you believe it? Good morning, Martin. Of course, you're welcome for the weather update. Here's our dry air that's moving into the area behind area of high pressure and that cold front moving through. Something I want to point out that I can't do so amazingly in this format, but you see the stream of moisture across South Texas. So we do have some rainfall that is impacting areas between Houston and the valley. And at times we're going to get some spotty rain here in the coastal band, but that drier air is going to continue to push that moisture south as the front continues to push south. That front to our north, it's going to weaken as it runs into that high pressure, but essentially we still have Pacific moisture being streamed up behind the cold front that moved through. However, that Pacific moisture is going to weaken as it continues to get pushed to the south. And I think trick-or-treating, we're not really going to have to worry about rainfall or mist. But we do have some rain showing up right now on our satellite imagery moving into Corpus now. So between Laredo and Corpus, watch out, and Brownsville, watch out for some spotty, damp areas on the roads. We are going to see a temperature right now of 49 degrees, 30s in the Panhandle, so it's cold across the Lone Star State. But you see those clearing skies, that's what we're looking forward to heading into tomorrow. So right now, this is since midnight. We picked up just barely 1/100th of an inch of rainfall. Kimberly says, when should we expect another front after this one? It's not for maybe 2 weeks out. So we've got some time of warming up before we even see another front, unfortunately, Kimberly. I wish I had better news. Scary rain records on Halloween. Not coming today. We are going to be on the lower end. Good morning, Joe, with our dancing mummy. I love the dancing mummy. He likes to talk about how often we see rain because obviously he doesn't like his mummy wraps getting soggy. And so only 5 years have we seen rain that has tallied more than an inch. The record rainfall, 1981, Corpus Christi picked up 4.88 inches. Rain percentages, so that has happened only 4% of the time, more than 1/10 of an inch, 11% of the time. We likely are going to fall under that 21%, with our 0.01 early this morning. It was like right at midnight. Or 1 a.m. And then additionally, most of the time we're bone dry for Halloween. So for your planner, the mummy makes it over to Dracula's house for the Monster Mash, and you might want to do the Monster Mash to stay warm out there this Halloween. Temperatures are going to be in the 50s, and we are looking at those winds out of the north, but they're getting lighter. So as the winds get lighter, it's going to allow us to get colder, but more so that clear sky is going to allow us to get colder. So I expect it to feel pretty cold once the sun does set, which is at 6:47. 6:47 will be your sunset for Halloween. Taking a look at those temperatures and on Futurecast, there's the clearing skies. So I think around 3 p.m. we start to really see our skies clear. We should have clear skies by trick-or-treating, so you can look up and see the waning gibbous moon. The full moon was on Saturday. 42 Wednesday at 4 a.m. The record is 39, so we'll be close. I went a low. I think I went a low of 41. Hey, Zach, I have been answering people's questions. Kimberly asked when the cold front moved through, so ask a question and I'll do my best to answer it. I know you prefer Alan. You've said that before. So anyway, here's our Halloween climatology, and we are looking at this graphic is a little difficult to understand if you just glance at it. So the warmest Halloween on record is 95 degrees. That high was set in 1947. We have only seen high temperatures above 40 4% of the time since record keeping began, which was in the 1800s, actually just before our coldest record low there. I believe it was like 1885. So 57 was the coldest temperature, a high temperature, and we see high temperatures cooler than 60 degrees only 1% of the time. We see low temperatures colder than freezing only 1% of the time as well, whereas our lows are typically more on the warmer side. They're greater than 70, 26% of the time, which is still low. They're usually more so in between. These are the extremes. So 78 is our record low, warmest temperature. So yeah, the majority of the time our low is below 70 on Halloween. So thank you, Janie. Happy Halloween, Ronnie. Okay, here we go. Now, as we take a look at some more Halloween fun facts. Again, this is your forecast for today. I'm thinking 56, 57, right around 3 p.m. Northerly winds are still there. They're going to weaken through the night, and that is what's going to allow our temperatures to continue to drop into the 40s, low 40s by the time you're waking up tomorrow morning. The coolest high we've ever had was in 1895, and we have a chance of tying or breaking that. We will definitely rank within the top 5. As far as our average temperature, we have a chance of ranking within the top 5 as well for our average low and our average high, but we're not going to get the record low. That's 28. We will not be below freezing. I can't emphasize that enough. We will not be below freezing, so you don't have to worry about those issues. Now, here's the lows across the region. So somewhere that's going to, I guess, get close to being below freezing is going to be Freer. 35 is your low. 37 George West, 38 Beeville, 38 Refugio, 39 through St. Annales. So it is going to be cold tonight. The wind will be probably closer to 10 by the time you're headed out the door tomorrow. But yeah, cold into the brush country, especially where we're going to have lighter winds and those clear skies. So essentially what that is, that's radiational cooling that allows that to happen, because typically we have clouds, or not typically, but more often than not, due to our humidity, we get clouds overnight. But that dry air is going to be pushed south, and we're going to get rid of the clouds as our pressure increases again. High pressure equals clearer skies. And as our pressure goes up, starts to go up, we clear our skies out in the upper atmosphere. And essentially that means that the heat that the earth naturally emits is going to naturally want to rise. And if we have clouds, it would be trapped and stay under the clouds, and we'd be a little bit warmer. But because we're going to get rid of the clouds, that heat's going to be allowed to escape into space essentially, and not heat us up and let our temperatures really fall. So thanks, Melissa. I got chills that are multiplying. Is there a Grease costume in your future, Ronnie? Okay, there's the dry air. So this is essentially what's happening. High pressure is moving over Texas. Dry air is still being brought in around the high because it rotates in a clockwise fashion. The lows rotate in a counterclockwise fashion. So we're going to get that dry northerly cold air to continue through tonight and into Wednesday. But notice what happens Wednesday into Thursday. Our easterly winds are going to return. That's going to start to creep our humidity back up. As our humidity creeps back up, our temperatures are going to creep back up. And so we're talking highs back in the 80s with that onshore wind returning. So 80s, don't forget to set your clocks back. Clocks fall back over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Hey, Bob, greetings from Ohio. Yeah, so 80s are going to be there Saturday and Sunday. Into Monday, we're getting near 90. The next cold front, not in the near sight, possibly about before the following weekend, but that's so far out, it's hard to get excited about that. So, no, I'm going as Ben Affleck's The Accountant. That's fun. I love Halloween and Halloween costumes and dressing up. It's fun for me, and I like to have fun and relate it to weather. That's my favorite thing. So I hope y'all had fun. I believe that's it. Okay, this is just showing our warming temperatures as well. So for me personally, I think sweater weather in the 50s. 40s, you could argue winter coat weather, especially tonight. Tonight will probably be winter coat weather for me heading into work Wednesday. So this is going to be the coldest night. Yeah, coldest night is tonight. Be ready for that. Typically, our low this time of year is 61, so that will be fun. Hey, Bob. Happy Taco Tuesday. Hope it's terrific. And yeah, I definitely do look at the comments, so I see everything you say, and I try my best to answer the questions. And if a question is asked, I will do so. But here's one last view of our choppy conditions. Waves are running at the buoys about 8 feet. Closer to shore, I think they're closer to 3 to 5, but we are still dealing with that upwelling and the Ekman spiral that does cause water to be pushed on shore. Also, fun fact, the bay and the Laguna Madre are now getting temperature readings in the upper 50s for those sea surface temperatures. So that is quite cold. Out at the buoy, it's still in the 80s though, out in the Gulf. So that's pretty drastic. But that's like hot tub to ice cold pool, depending on where you are in the Gulf. Doesn't sound fun, of course. But yeah, the Packery Channel, cold. The buoy there was reading 57. So anyway, that's going to do it for this Facebook Live. Make sure you do download the app. We write in-depth weather stories there. The team works really hard on that. So always be sure to check it out. and we'll catch you next time.